Hello, everyone. It is Jerry Citarella, and it is the July edition of my monthly moment. And this one's actually being done on July 30th, almost the last day of the month. And this is the third, that's two. This is the third time I've recorded this month because every time I'm ready to release it, something else happens. So sit back, relax. I'm going to make this as quick as I can, but let's go through July and let's talk about what we see moving forward. Obviously, as everybody knows, July has been an interesting month. We had a debate, presidential debate. Let's talk politics for 1 second. Again, as always, as it relates to what we do together. We had a presidential debate where I think a lot of people realized that the current president, Joe Biden, maybe isn't in a position to continue running, and then eventually obviously did drop out. After that, then we had the former president, current presidential candidate, Donald Trump, attempted assassination, shot in the ear. Great. After that, then the current vice president, Kamala Harris, is now the, assumed presidential candidate. We won't know for sure for a little longer, but that's what's going on. So with that said, obviously there's been a lot from the political standpoint, and I want to tell you how I see that as it affects what we're doing together. It kind of confirms something that I say a lot and kind of confirms something I've had conversations about. And as much as it doesn't matter as much as people think. A lot of people are concerned about the inflation, about the election. What's going to happen? What's going to happen if this? What's going to happen if that? What if my candidate? What if the other candidate? After the debate, when it looked like Biden wasn't going to be the candidate, honestly, the markets didn't really care. Then Trump got shot, and we can probably all agree that at least for the short term, his popularity increased, maybe increased his chances of winning. The market seemed to like it a little bit, not a huge deal. And then when Kamala Harris came in, again, there wasn't anything big that happened to the markets or the economy for that matter as it relates to what was going on politically. So we see moving forward, again, lots of stuff that we'll have to look at based on policy changes. Obviously, there's some extreme differences between the two probable candidates. But ultimately, all of it was kind of not that big of a deal as it relates to this because it goes back to what I always say. Stock market is based on the underlying profits or losses, the ultimate net profits or losses of the companies we're invested in. How are they doing? What are they making? And what are they keeping? And yes, a president and their policies can affect that. But it didn't seem like the markets people in general cared enough either way, as it looked like one thing or the other was going to happen to make us make any changes based on those potential changes. So we're back to the basic stuff, the interest rates, the economy, spending, credit card debt. There's still a lot going on, but ultimately we're still optimistic. We're in the middle of a little bit of a downturn now, some volatility. This week we have corporate earnings, and a couple of the initial ones like Microsoft didn't do so well, but some other ones did well. So I think we're going to have some varying earnings, nothing real definite either way. We'll probably stumble around a little bit and then back to business as usual. But moving forward, that's the most important thing. We are looking at some sector rotations. We've had some big meetings in here recently to look at some companies that we believe were negatively affected by the interest rates that will in turn act positively when the rates do come down. It looks like we are getting closer to that. Fed Chair Powell had put a number relating to inflation that he wanted to hit before he lowered the rates. He kind of backed off that a little bit in his last meeting, and he's going to be speaking again soon. So I really do think we are getting closer. As many of you know, a lot of people thought in 23 the rates were going to go down. We said no. A lot of people thought in 24 the rates were going to go down early and maybe often. Our position the whole year has been 2 rate decreases, maybe 1. Maybe 3, probably 2, and it looks like that's about what's going to happen. So we've been managing money accordingly. But we do think moving forward, there's going to be some opportunities. Now, because it took so long to lower the rates, and it's probably not going to be dramatic, at least the first couple, we don't think the rates are going to make the markets fly because no surprise there. We already kind of have that built in. So we're looking at things. We're trying to position ourselves well with the money we manage, the portfolios we have, the models we have. Look forward and say what will do well under these conditions we are expecting. And of course, depending on which president or which candidate becomes the president, they will have their own policies. And, I always tell everybody, I don't need to like the rules. I just need to know them. So whoever wins, it is what it is. And we will look forward towards that and say, where are they likely going to be pushing? Where are they going to be friendly? Where are they going to be unfriendly? And what can we do to take advantage of those opportunities? So big stuff going on. Again, it's the end of July. Didn't mean to wait so long to put this out. And we'll see what happens in August, but it's been a very busy July. So interest rates, I think presidential stuff, we're probably close to being settled, maybe a couple more changes. I don't know. I'm not predicting that anymore, but just know the markets didn't care much what happened, and we'll see how it plays out moving forward. And we'll go from there. So we're on it. We're busy. We're having big meetings. If you're not aware, we now have an in-house stock analyst full-time looking at individual securities, sectors, markets. We're putting him to work, and a couple other interns have been really busy this summer, really kind of looking at some ideas that we have moving forward. So we feel we're positioned well. We feel like we're comfortable. Been a great year in our portfolios relative to the markets and their indexes, and we're just looking to do the same thing moving forward. As always, call me if you have any questions. Share this with anybody you think could benefit from it. I look forward to seeing you soon. Sorry this was probably a little long, but it was a busy July. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day. And we'll do this again in August.